And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris. I'm bringing it to you here from Thursday morning in Westlake Village, California. It's raining out here and we got a lot to talk about. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. I had my hands full, but look, 80% of the people are angry with the economy. The number one thing people should have been looking at yesterday was their pocketbook. And look, mortgages have gone from 3% to 7%. I don't think the average family can handle this. And we're about to talk about what to expect for the rest of this week. And the Black Swan event that just happened, the FTX takeover. It reminds me a lot of what happened with Luna. And just real quick, popping in on this FTT chart. So as a big exchange, rumors of insolvency happen, and you get one of these absolute parabolic meltdowns. And could this thing go lower? If Bitcoin takes another leg down, I wouldn't say it'd be a hard far cry for it to go lower, but that's it for FTT token. And I'm not going to talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. All I'm going to say is that, you know, the dollar fell yesterday and Bitcoin went down. Right? So check this out. The dollar had a big red candle yesterday and it went down. And what else happened? Stocks went up yesterday. Bitcoin went down. So a little bit of a divergence play there. But overall, I am expecting the trend to remain your friend and not one day of divergence, you know, change anything. And I would say the fact that the dollar went down and stocks went up, kind of one of the only things helping Bitcoin hold on to the lows at the moment. But here's what I am seeing on the dollar right now. And here's what it is. You've got 1, 2, 3 lower lows. So 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence. Or is it regular bullish divergence? Whatever it is divergence. The 3 drive variety should give us a shot to the top side of the range. Any kind of a daily closure above 110.63. And I am looking for that target to get hit on the opposite side. If we lose this area, notice the wicks are critical in trading. So dollar above or below here is really going to be peace and prosperity or death and despair to these markets. I think if the dollar does take another leg up, going to be bad for risk on assets as it has been for the last 12 months. So I don't think that trend has changed yet. The bigger threat is, in my opinion, you know, and to see what happens if the dollar comes down to the monthly level. And I believe this is about the downside risk on the monthly side. 106.74. That is going to be coming up over the next month, but just something to be aware of. You know, something I saw, volatility cooling off on the monthly time frame. So a, what's it called? A mean reversion bounce would not be out of the cards here as this comes down. But the monthly time frame takes months, so we could easily see some kind of a parabolic blow off top in the dollar. That being with the daily closure back, you know, even just probably above this this wick right here at 114, I'd be looking at new highs and probably that 120 target to get hit. So be on the be on the whereabouts for the U.S. dollar, and daily closures above or below that region probably going to get a significant move. So back onto what I was saying here, dollar fell and Bitcoin went down, kind of an inversion there. I thought that was an oddity that I did want to point out. And I do think it did kind of hold Bitcoin up in a sense yesterday. The other thing that held Bitcoin up is this, which I do want to point out, is typically big liquidity events or liquidity lies right below the prior wick. So we did have a wick down there yesterday and a big bounce, about $1,500 on the daily time frame. And it was, you know, pretty significant. And what did I want to bring up about that? Still want a daily closure below that prior wick, and that's probably going to be good enough for the next major leg down. And where could that possibly go? So here's what I'm going to bring up is this is the CME chart on the daily. On the weekend, notable volume yesterday. Oops. So I'm just going to throw on the volume profile, show you guys a couple things on the weekly time frame. But notice, you know, as soon as we lose the high value nodes, right, it's pretty much a clear shot down to the next high value node. Once we lost this node, right, taken out, and this is all the buyer and seller volume and price action. Once we took out that node, hey, clear shot down to this one. Actually, we went all the way down to the bottom side of this node. Now, I do suspect if we lose this node on a weekly time frame anywhere below 17.8 on a weekly, going to give you a clear shot down to that 12,395. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is there is a gap. Now, gaps, they like to get filled. This gap got filled. Here's another gap up here at 28,650 on CMEs. Again, gaps like to get filled and are fought with peril. But when they are broken through, that's when you know something has changed. And I want to point out this gap right here, this last one. I'm going to take off the volume node. This last gap was at 19,160 to 18,5, got filled. And we did put in, I think, a bounce on the first pass. But once shot through, which we will confirm today with any kind of a daily closure below that 18.5 level. And we got 7 hours left, so greater things have happened. But if the dollar pops up here and stocks come down, I think, you know, that is not going to be a point for the bulls. That'll be a point for the bears. And so why am I bringing this all up? Well, hey, that's our next gap here down here at 97.60 on CME. So that's, you know, could get filled, I guess. But more importantly, back on the nodes here, I'm going to take off this and I'm going to show you this. So the next high value node, you know, where does that line up? 11 left, you know, the middle of that node, and probably the point of control will be at that area. Now the point of control is at 20,300. But if we zoom in slightly, and I think it's a little better seen on spot price action. Let's see. On the weekly time frame. Here's what I wanted to point out. Yeah, that 18.8 pivot. So if we lose this area, this is the last lowest candle body closure of the year for the weekly time frame on spot price action, playing out some more divergence. And as long as we are below that 18.8, I would say really 19.5 on a daily time frame. Let's see where that would put us here. Yep, as long as we are closing dailies below the 618. Yeah, that's 20,000 bucks. Call it 19,695. Pressure will remain to the downside. So how do we know when the move is over? Well, volatility will likely max out, getting up to, you know, some high regions here, but this is maxing out on the big volatile move. So after extreme lows, right, in volatility, you do expect extreme highs, very similar to what we saw back here, and now we expect the price to go in the direction of the trend. That coupled with a bad CPI print tomorrow does line up for maybe another red candle or two. The other thing that is lining up is the 2-day time frame, and the average move on the 2-day time frame is going to be 40% from expansion. So let's say we define 40%. Let's say we got expansion right here. I mean, really, if you want to start it right here, as we confirmed, hidden bearish divergence for the third drive. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 drive variety, extremely low volatility. Now we're getting expansion, and Am I willing to call it? Is this it? Is this the move down to 10,000 bucks? I don't know, guys. I don't have a crystal ball here. I want to take it level by level, and usually you can do that pretty well with the Fibonacci tool. And so looks like next target 16.5 probably puts in, might put in a bounce there. We might get a straight shot down to 13.6, the 2618 fib. I do think that is a good target over the next 7 to 14 days. So that's it. And that would be invalidated, right, with any kind of a closure back above 20,500. So hopefully that's pretty simple for you guys to take notes. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just going with the trend here, looking at momentum and volatility. Additionally, the 5-day signal will go off and the average move there about 40% from expansion. So let's say we define 40% from the high. 40%, that's 35% at 13.6. And 40% brings you to 12,300. Those highs right there. What else are we kind of trading in a range between this high, and this high? So the 2018 highs, we are in a bit of a range right there, but I do believe, you start to just break below that. And again, that's right where the wick's at. Again, a significant area right here. This is a critical zone. And as you can see, if you lose this high value node here coming in at 17,000 on this is the 5-day time frame. What else did I want to bring out? So again, some people, a lot of liquidity lies right here. You can get a bounce off this region. But overall, again, pressure remains to the downside below that 19,700 pivot. And then certainly wanted to talk about the election real quick, right? Because the New York Times is projecting Republicans will take 224 seats, giving them a narrow edge, 6 seats above the Democrats. And this could be used by Republicans to delay more spending on green projects and corporate tax hikes. But Republicans can't seem to flip the Senate. So likely the Republicans won't be able to push any bills towards Biden. Funny or oddly enough, somehow Republicans lost the Pennsylvania seat. So being... what some betting house is reporting, I think it's like an 80% chance, Republicans win the House, and then 70% chance Senate will be the Democrats. So what else did I hear? Ron DeSantis said something, interesting. He said Florida in his winning speech, right? He said, Florida is where the woke people go to die. And I think Sam Bankman should take a trip. He didn't say where woke people go to die. Excuse me. He said where wokeness goes to die. I am really sorry. I didn't mean that, guys. Last story short. Ethereum. So yeah, Bitcoin taking out the June lows. Ethereum should be following suit, right? I see no reason why not, guys. It's at 11.99. We've had a target of $1,000 for some time. The June lows at 887, and you can see if Bitcoin's gearing up for a 40% move. We've already had 20%, it looks like, or 10%. How much do we have on Ethereum? 27% to the downside on Ethereum so far. Bitcoin has had a 17%, 18%. So again, my theory, is Bitcoin leads the market. Ethereum's and altcoins are going to do even more than what Bitcoin does to the downside and to the upside. And Doggy Coin taking it on the chin, really coming back to those lows. XRP did hit our weekly death cross target we had been talking about for some time. Really going to get some selling pressure on a 5-day death cross, which was this guy right here. So, long story short, tightening economic environment going into a CPI report tomorrow. If it comes out hotter than expected, I would say bulls are going to take the reins again. If we get some kind of a good print or some kind of a good election news, again, Democrats winning the Senate, in my opinion, is a point for the bears, right? They're just going to be able to push more stuff towards Biden. I don't know exactly how to put it into words, but I thought we were going to get a red wave, guys. Sorry about that. No red wave today or yet. Maybe it's rigged, guys. It's just rigged. Long story short, again, weekly bearish divergence coming all the way back from this pivot right there. On the 3-drive variety, which we have clear, we will, with any kind of a weekly closure, here or lower, really. I mean, when you see that kind of a move, let's see if the wicks can now line up a little bit better. Gosh, I got to get out of here. We probably had it in like this, right? But when you see this kind of a move, you have the descending triangle, you break up, get faked out, and you break back below here. This is confirmation in my book of a bearish reversal. And on the 3-drive variety, we are looking at a shot to the bottom side of the range. We already got that. So where's the next target on the 5-day time frame? As long as we don't close back above 19,000 on the 5-day, right? And as a matter of fact, as long as these cross down in the next 2 days and 10 hours, which would be, what, Sunday? Sunday, the weekly is going to close into? No, that'll be, today's Thursday. I don't know. I'm getting all lost of the days. It's been a lot of work here in the past couple of days, guys. I think I'm going to leave you off with that. Yeah, NASDAQ pulling back even more right now. So point for the bears. So how is the market interpreting this event? I think, it's uncertainty. The market doesn't like uncertainty. And so another point for the bears there. Where's the points for the bulls? I wanted to check in on open interest. We did say, hey, look, 20% corrections come when open interest gets around 11, 12 billion. We didn't quite get there, but we just shaved off, I think around $3 billion worth of open interest. So leverage ratio, funding rates are up right now, inconsequential at the moment. And then what did I want? Funding rates, leverage ratio is probably way up there as well. Crypto fear and greed index, capitulation or market bottoms do not get put in. Typically, when the fear and greed index is at a 31, it's usually over here. When was that? The June low, right? So we haven't had a capitulation candle yet. Another point for the bears. And what else did I want to bring up here? Anything else? Open interest, fear and greed index. I think we covered all the bases here today, guys. All I would say is this on the shorter term time frames, if you want to dive in. There is getting a bunch of red wicks, a little Wyckoff accumulation box on the hourly time frame, and it does look like any kind of an hourly closure above or below here is going to get a next little pump to the upside or the downside right now. Momentum to the downside. We already got 2 big explosive moves. Are we going to get a third? And I do think that is possible on the hourly time frame. Typically won't see that on the 4-hour. 2-hour time frame, volatility is getting overheated right now and actually declining. So 2-hour got, would you call that 2 moves? How many moves down? So volatility expands, move down, volatility expands, move down, volatility expands. See, what we had here is kind of a rejection, retest. On the 2-hour time frame, don't really trust it. So question is, are we going to break above or below on the hourly time frame and get the next leg down at 16.7 to the downside and 18.5 to the upside? above or below there, and on an hourly time frame, probably not going to get you that much here. In fact, a little bit odd right now. Stocks pulling back and Bitcoin putting in a bounce, right? So inverse correlation again, 110. I do have a target on the dollar on the hourly time frame that I wanted to bring up here, and this does point more in line with a point for the bears. So I would say again, if dollar pops up here, so target on the dollar, we're looking at 110, and on the daily time frame, if we can close above there, that would look very, very good. So confirming another higher low above this low, right? So, all right, that's it for today, guys. Hope you have a blessed, highly favored day. We'll be bringing you back some more crypto news tomorrow. And I'm going to sign out. Take care.